Okay, so the first one you missed was number 1. And so basically what you had for number 1 was 9x squared minus 12x plus 18 over 3x. And so the top number is a polynomial and your bottom number is a monomial. So anytime you divide a polynomial by a monomial, all you have to do is just stack that monomial under each term. It's kind of like a common denominator. So the easiest way to do this, we can factor out a GCF in that numerator, but I feel like probably the easiest way to do this is just to stack them on top and then simplify. So 3 will go into 9 3 times. X will divide into x squared, x, because one of the x's will cancel. Then here, 3 will go into 12 4, and the x's cancel out. And finally, 18 over 3x, so 3 will go into 18 6 times, and the x stays. So now you'll just bring it down. 3x, 4, and then 6 over x, and that would be your answer. Now with number 2, you actually have a polynomial on top of a polynomial. So this one's different. You can't just start canceling. You have to factor and simplify them first. So what we have with the top number is a difference of a square. If you remember, all you have to do is take your square root of your first and last term, and it's going to be a plus and minus. So here we have x plus 3 and x minus 3. Now with the bottom number, it's a positive, so it's not going to be a difference of a square, but you can factor out your GCF, which, if you remember, that's like undistributing. So we can pull that x out. So x squared divided by x is x, and then 3x divided by x is just 3. So here's what we're going to have when we simplify the x squared plus 3x. Now, this is right here. It's the same thing as this, except now it's simplified and you can cancel out the like terms. So we can cancel out the x plus 3 and x plus 3, which is going to leave, x plus 3, x plus 3, which is going to leave us with x minus 3 over x, and that will be your final answer. Number 3, same thing. We have a trinomial over a binomial, so we're going to factor that tri. And because our 6 is negative, that means both your terms will be a positive and negative. And so we need factors of 6 that has a difference of 1, which would be 3 and 2. Now because our x is negative, the larger number will go behind the negative sign. Then we have a difference of a square, just like we had in number 4, x squared minus 3, 9. And so that will factor to x plus 3, x minus 3. And as you can see, now we can take the factored forms and cancel out your x minus 3. So your answer is going to be x plus 2 over x plus 3. So now moving on to number 7. We had 36r squared over 8r over 4r. So once again, you have a binomial over a monomial. So when it's just one term, all you have to do is split it up with that term. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. R squared divided by r is r. 8r over 4r. 4 will go into 8 2 times. Your r's cancel. So now you're going to be left with 9r plus 2. And then nothing is left in the denominator. So you're done. Okay, number 8. We have the same situation. Split it up. 16b over 4b squared and 8b over 4b squared. And as you can see, the 4 will go into 16 4 times. B into b squared is just b. So you're going to have 4 over b. And then with this one, 8 divided by 4 is 2, and b will go into b squared b. So this is a common denominator, so you only have to write it one time, but we are going to add this 4 and 2 because your b's canceled. So we can actually add these two, and we're going to get 6. So your answer is 6 over b. Okay? Now for number 9, we had to find an expression that was equivalent to these two. So the first thing I did is I used FOIL to multiply these out. So 7n times n is 7n squared. N times 4 is 4n. 6 times 7n is 42n, and 6 times 4 is 24. And of course, when you combine 4n and 42n, you get 46n. However, in your answers, you didn't have this. But what we had was something more like this. So I know that when I multiply 7 by 4, I get 28, or 28n squared. And then 46n times 4 is 184n, and then 24 times 4 is 96n. So you actually had to multiply these to get your answer by 4. And so your answer would have been that one. Now, number 11, you're just simply going to drop those parentheses, change your signs with the 7x squared minus 9 because it's preceded by a negative, and then simply combine your like terms. So we're just going to put the 25x squared minus 14xy plus 4y, then distribute that negative and make that a negative 7x squared plus 9y, and then just simply bring down the 2xy plus 7. Now we're going to combine our like terms. The 25x squared and the negative 7x squared is 18x squared. The negative 14xy plus the 2xy is negative 12xy. There is nothing to combine with 9y, so we just bring it down. And then 4 plus 9, or 4 plus 7 is 11. So that would be your answer. Okay, then with number 14, you had to subtract. Now, this one I would have thrown out because I really did not work with you guys on subtraction. But here you just had to get a common denominator, which between 3 and 5 would be 15, and x is just x. So if we multiply 5x by 3, we get 15x, and then 6 times 3 is 18, minus, and then 15x divided by 3x is 5. So we have to multiply 3x by 5 to get 15x, which means we have to multiply the 2 by 5 as well to get 10. So 18 minus 10 is 8, and then just bring over your common denominator, and that would be your answer. Okay, and then for number 15, we have x squared minus 9 over x squared plus 6x plus 9 times 3x minus 9 over 3x plus 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify all these. This is a difference of a square, so it's going to factor to x plus 3, x minus 3. Then we have x squared plus 6x plus 9, which factors to x plus 3, x plus 3. And with these, we can just factor out the GCF of 3. So 3, x minus 3, 3, x plus 3, and then just cross cancel. So I can cross cancel these two. Then we can cancel out this x, I think, was that an x minus 3? Yep. So actually, that one we would not cancel out. So these two would stay. And so then you would have to multiply these two together. So anyway, don't worry about that one. I think I did something wrong on that one. But anyway, don't worry about that one. Let's go ahead and move on to number 17. Number 17, we have x squared plus 6x over 6x squared plus 15. So I'm just going to simplify it by factoring out the x, and we're left with x plus 6 on the inside. Same thing, we're going to factor out 3x, and we're left with 2x plus 5. Then you can cancel out your x's here. We're going to factor this 2x squared plus 7x plus 5. Now this one's harder. You're going to have to use the slip and slide method and make it by multiplying 2 times 5 and make it x squared plus 7x over 10. And that's going to factor out to x plus 5x plus 2. Divide by 2 in each case, and you will come out with the 2x plus 5 over x plus 1. And then x squared minus 36 factors to x plus 6, x minus 6. You can cancel out those x plus 6's. You can cancel out the 2x plus 5. And then these x's here will cancel. So you're going to be left with x plus 1 over 3 times x minus 6. So that one was a little more challenging as well. And then number 18, same thing. You're just going to factor this to x plus 2x minus 10. Factor this to x plus 3x minus 1. If you'll notice, nothing will cancel. So your final answer is just this. It will not simplify anymore.